They're all in solo projects, but every one of them is called separate directions.
Separate ways, alternate routes, and other directions for all of them. We're very close. So I just hit transition.
That should be a band too. Alternate
it.
Roots. It's just a bunch of white guys playing the
You watch it happen on the screen too if you want.
It's a bunch of white guys playing Roots covers.
Can't play playing Roots covers.
Okay, here we go.
Sex is not to be pleasurable for the woman because we're giving them the ultimate pleasure, a child.
The only reason I knew that she was a hooker was because she was like,
She tried to have sex with me for money.
I thought it was rats, so I ran out into the street.
Guys hit by a car.
I almost got hit.
Would you like to come back to my house and you can serenade her at my home?
and I went,
No.
yeah.
Did it do it? I want to dance with somebody. I want to feel the heat with somebody. Yeah, I want to dance with somebody. With somebody who loves me. Hi, welcome to A Little Show, everybody. I'm your host, three-time Olympic gold medalist for French kissing, Bill. And this is my stepdad, Charlie, and his life partner, Geordie. Welcome back again to another really solid start to another episode of A Literal Show. Do you guys have anything you want to talk about?
Oh man, we didn't do the board.
Off the top? Yeah, we don't have a board, but is there anything just rolling around that noodle of yours?
Well, I mean, I kind of promised my wife that I wouldn't talk about this, but I actually didn't promise.
Okay.
So I think I sent you guys a group text with some of the wonderful gifts from Mom.
Yeah, that was one of the things I wanted to talk about right off the tip.
I don't want to call my mom out or make her upset.
No.
But at the same time, it's hard not to talk about
those shoes.
These shoes. My mother, bless her, sweetheart, sent me a gift bag. And in it, are a pair of shoes. Now, I would say that if you had worn these instead of your Fat Farm shoes that one fateful day at high school, you would probably have less friends.
I don't know about that.
Would you like to describe them? I know you only showed pictures, but you're very good at describing things.
All right. So they're a low profile shoe, about ankle high. They're black and they are just riddled with the Monster Energy drink logo. And the sides of them look like the same material that they make boats out of.
Fiberglass weave.
They're like vinyl and fake carbon fiber.
Like, I feel like if you looked close enough at those shoes, you would see a couple very old men and then a bunch of very young women inside the shoe. And
oh man,
it was, yeah, they're
white soled like a Chuck Taylor,
mm-hmm.
and they're DC brand.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, that's a thing. Now, I have worn DCs in the past.
Mm-hmm. Same.
The pretty distant past.
Right.
I probably was in middle school the last time I wore a pair of DCs.
Mm-hmm.
Also, they are half size too big. So even if I did wear them, on top of everything else, they would look like clown shoes.
As if they were not already clown shoes.
Yeah, they're definitely already clown shoes. So yeah, that happened.
Yeah.
They were lovely.
Mama Young, if you're listening, it was a very sweet gesture. But I think at your age, it would be best to consult with you before purchasing footwear.
You know what else? You have my wife, my sister, my brother.
Yeah, just any.
Ask literally anybody that knows a little better.
Really, most alive people that
are my age.
Yeah, and don't punch holes in drywall would have given you some solid feedback on those shoes.
I mean, I punch holes in drywall, but I still won't wear those. It's like my favorite punching surface. Let's be fair.
Yeah, okay, Kyle.
You got too deep.
I did. Well, I mean,
yeah. Now, the useful things, there was those rubber grips to help you open a can.
Nope.
A jar, rather.
Mm-mm.
They're like a rubber textured thing. It's like a floppy, smaller mouse pad.
Okay.
and you put
Oh,
them
yeah,
on
I've
top
seen
of
those.
jar lids to get a grip on them to open them.
Okay.
So there was one of those from, I think, State Farm Insurance. So
Okay.
that was nice. There were some flip-flops, although they were too big
You
as well.
sure that was what that was, and it wasn't like a Pog slammer pad?
I'm not 100% sure, but
Oh.
I can have you come in and verify.
If in fact it was not a grip to unfasten jars, but a Pog slammer pad, then that totally redeems the shoes. in
You have to
my
wear
eyes
the
with Mama Young.
shoes while...
To a Pog tournament.
there's flip-flops, which are essential in Florida. You need like...
Are they though?
Yeah, they are. Like, you need to barely have an excuse to put on clothes sometimes, and you put on the bare minimum.
Yeah, it's just male toes are the worst thing that the good Lord ever made. They're
Hold on.
just awful. Don't show me your toes. I don't want to. Oh God, they're bad. I hate them. Woof.
Now,
Oh,
I did just have a pedicure before I came here.
I know, but it's not.
Did you know?
It's not. Well, I didn't know.
It's the
but
third pedicure I've ever had. I would be surprised if you know.
but it's not. It's not. It's not. You can polish a turd all you want.
So when you say your dad's feet are nightmare fuel, they probably are just normal feet.
No. His feet look like H.R. Geiger threw up into a shoe
Gotcha.
and then just pulled it out. And that's
Was it a Monster Energy drink shoe?
It was. They weren't. They didn't belong to a human. They just like oozed forth from the primordial cesspool and attached themselves to the nearest human form they could find.
By the way, that's our new band, the Primordial Cesspool. It's a 3-piece.
Yeah, it's
I play the spoons.
John
his
just
abs.
plays the spoons on his washboard abs. No, but yeah. So we had a rubber hand attachment. I just saw your toes, and that's fucking me up a little bit. But, so what else was in there?
I think maybe a gift card to Publix, which
Oh, hell yeah!
you have to activate. You find that out when you're in the line and trying to get checkout.
And you have to activate it at the front
Customer
desk.
service.
Yeah. And it won't activate unless there's like 12 people behind you waiting very
Yeah, of course, of
impatiently.
What you need to have is the only means of payment needs to be the gift card, and you need to have about $400 worth of groceries and 2 carts and about 15 people behind you in rush hour. And that's the ideal time to find this out.
And a pay stub and a proof of residency.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think it was overall a decent care package.
hmm
Also, back to the flip-flop things. There's nothing better than putting on gym shorts with, numerous holes in them that barely conceal anything,
hmm
and some flip-flops, and then walking out in the front yard in your neighborhood to go like grab the mail or something.
So just at any time of day, b-ball shorts with a potential testy hanging out.
Yeah.
Some flip
Or gym shorts that say Jensen Beach Wrestling Team.
Were you on the Jensen Beach wrestling team?
No, I'm not
Yeah,
from Jensen Beach.
I was gonna say, I feel
and I
like-
was not on any wrestling team.
Yeah.
Another special gift from Mama. Mama.
Just found them at a yard sale.
I wear all
It
the
wasn't
gym
even
shorts.
a yard sale. She just broke into somebody's garage. And
I wear all the gym shorts though.
Yeah,
They're
you-
good for like if you just woke up and it's 6 a.m. and your wife needs tampons.
Okay.
You just need to add a shirt to that earlier combination we were talking about, then carry all the things that you need because the gym shorts are going to hold them.
And here's the thing. I'm speaking from a very hypocritical standpoint because while I don't wear flip flops per se, I do wear the slides, the things where you just like,
oh yeah.
there's no thong
Because you want to
which-
conceal the toes.
Well, they're not necessarily concealed all the way. It's just I feel like there's a little more coverage, and no one has to look at my fucking Hobbit.
Do you
troll
wear
monster
socks
feet. No,
with the slip-ons? Because
No.
that's pretty lit.
but I once thought myself. I once fancied myself a person that could pull off that look, but I am not a person.
I don't
that
think
can pull
anybody.
Well,
can
I mean,
pull
you
off
also
that look.
fancied yourself somebody who could pull off the fat farm look, right?
That's true.
That's true. That was also 14-year-old me.
Yeah.
A little
It's
older,
forgiven.
a little wiser.
It's forgiven. Okay, so I guess the next thing that, since I mentioned it, I want to talk about is I think one of the challenges is we should all go get a pedicure. I
Okay.
have my third one that my wife wanted me to join her with today before the show.
hmm
So I did. I don't mind them. I mean, again, it's a little bit strange with like a small Asian man looking up at you while rubbing your feet. So I try to make eye contact with my wife the whole time.
I love you so much, and this is I'm here with you, and there is not a small Asian man touching my feet right now.
But I just think it would make for great video footage for Charlie to be there.
Oh yeah, Charlie would really. I mean, like a duck to water.
Yeah, I wouldn't like that at all.
So that seems like a good challenge. Charlie, you want to get a pedicure?
Sure don't.
Okay, well that's the challenge for next week. So we'll have to. So, but how do we have to provide video evidence, or are we all going to show each other?
I
our
work
feet?
every day next week.
No, we're going to take 'em.
all day
I don't think that's true, Charlie. I think
from 7 a.m. till 9 p.m.
until whenever that place closes.
So just about 20 minutes after it closes. My mic is never close enough to my face.
It's because you speak so quietly. Why don't you talk now?
Can you hear me? Is anybody having trouble hearing me out there?
I don't think they're having trouble. I just think your levels are low.
Yeah, I don't. It's just not. That's not something I'm.
Quit hitting the mics there. I'm going to kick you in the head.
I don't know what to do.
Yeah. So let's get you a pedicure.
Yeah,
Let's do it.
Yeah, I don't want it either, Charlie. I'm very fucking self-conscious about my feet.
We'll do that. All right. So, okay, we'll go. Let's do it next Wednesday at 7 o'clock.
How about
just
6?
before we come here?
How about 6?
6 o'clock petties. Do we all go together?
Yeah, we got to hold hands.
Okay, as long as we can all get like.
I think it would make for a good Instagram post of Charlie squirming and eye twitching.
We'll cross that. We'll burn that bridge when we get to it.
Yeah,
we'll burn that bridge.
Your feet are twitching right now. All right, Charles. Did anything interesting happen to you this week?
I want to say yes, but I live a very boring life. Today was the 34th anniversary of where I work. So that was a lot of fun. $3.40 boneless wings. Ooh. That brings out the best.
Mm-hmm. That brings out your prime clientele.
Yeah, the good tippers.
Mm-hmm.
Let me get 40 wings. You gonna eat 40 buffalo or boneless wings? No, I was gonna take 20 home. No, you're not, bud. Well, I was gonna take some to my girlfriend. No, you're not. Tell your girlfriend to come in here. You're not taking them home. They're dining only.
Oh, that's the thing. There's not takeout.
Yeah, there's no takeout. So that was my day today. Geordie texted me and was like, "Oh, you want to ride tonight?" Like, yes, because I will be drinking. I almost cracked them open when I stopped at the gas station to buy beer today.
Fair enough.
No, man. I mean, you guys see me on my most exciting night. This is it.
This is Charlie's bingo night.
No, I don't. I mean, I'm fucking boring. I'm sitting here like trying to think of something. All my good stories are from like 15 years ago.
Oh man, that's pretty typical Uncle Rico.
Yeah.
Broker Cocix. Okay. Well, no news is sometimes more often than not good news.
No, what it is, I don't remember anything. And once we start talking, something will come up. But whenever I'm on the spot, it's fucking.
Oh, of course.
I got a blank space.
Also, we completely forgot the board, which is where we collect our thoughts.
True. Speaking of collected thoughts, gents, I've been, like I said, I feel like I mentioned it a couple of weeks ago. I've been smoking a lot more weed recently, and it's been causing my brain to go in directions that otherwise wouldn't go. And last night I'm in the shower. And let me preface this by saying, yes, I was in the shower when I thought of this, but given some of your guys' proclivities, I hope I don't offend you with this question, but who do you think would be better in the sack? Jesus or Santa?
Jesus.
Okay. Charlie, what do you think?
He's in much better shape.
Not gonna weigh in. All right.
Not going there on that one.
Well, okay. So here's my thing. Jesus died like a 33-year-old virgin, right? Dude never fucked. Whereas Santa...
Are you sure he was a virgin?
I mean, they don't talk about him dicking it down in the Bible.
Yeah, but they don't talk about him not dicking it down.
True, but also, I'm operating under the assumption, I'm operating with the information that I have.
Yeah, but he gets to dictate who writes the book, right?
He gets to dictate.
He does. So I think he was probably, pretty popular with the ladies.
True, but I feel like he was also trying to follow Pop's commandments. And one of those is don't lay the dick down before matrimony.
Is that how it's phrased?
Mhm. That's the sixth and freakiest commandment.
It's a freaky commandment.
The freaky deaky commandment. And then also think about this. Santa Claus is an omnipotent, all
powerful.
He is. Well, I mean, think about it. He knows when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake. He knows when you've been bad or good. So be good, for goodness sake. This guy has the endurance to travel all around the world. And he's been doing this for hundreds of years, right? Has the endurance to travel all around the world and drop off presents in an aesthetically pleasing way under a Christmas tree, eat your fucking cookies, go on to the next house, do that, all that in like what, an 8 to 10 hour period max? And
yeah, but think of the different time zones.
Okay, fair.
Yes, it's really only 1 hour.
But it's still, which makes it even more impressive.
And that sleigh's got him in it.
It makes it even more impressive. And like I said, this guy is literally hundreds of years old. And you got to figure he took his wife, Mrs. Claus, probably relatively towards the beginning of his toy dropping off career.
But they don't have any kids.
Tenure.
They don't have any kids. But
so here's my theory. I think
where the
he's
fuck
gay,
did the elves come from?
and that's where the elves
you
come
think
from.
Mrs. Claus is his beard?
Mrs. Claus is his, I'm in this religion, so therefore I need to have a female
What religion?
partner.
Is Santa?
Yeah, he's definitely part of Christianity.
No. Santa Claus was a pagan.
Yeah.
thing,
Well,
actually.
originally, yes, but in the context you're giving, you're referring to Jesus.
But I mean, just
And
think
Santa Claus does this on Jesus's birthday, right?
True, but that's also the same day as like the pagan, like sort of winter solstice kind of thing.
So it's also
Yeah.
Yule.
Yeah. So yeah. But okay, so
I've still got issues with Santa Claus because when I was 7,
Dude, this motherfucker.
I asked him for a G.I. Joe Cobra Commander battle base, and I didn't get it.
well, sometimes
You think he was laying pipe?
he was probably
I think he was putting it to Miss Claus that day, and one of the elves couldn't read my fucking chicken scratch, so he just threw the list away.
See, I think he was putting it to the elves.
and okay, well,
And Mrs. Claus is just there
she's the
for
beard.
normalcy.
And, I mean, because you got to figure he's been doing this for a long time. Homosexuality hasn't always been in vogue as it is right now.
No.
So,
Back in Greek
he
and Roman
needed the
times,
beard.
it was normal.
He needed the beard. He needed Mrs. Claus so that he could go over certain airspaces without getting shot down.
What the fuck with the beard? How do we get Miss Claus the beard? What do you mean?
The beard is like a lady that a homosexual man takes in order to convey his heterosexuality.
That's a thing?
Yeah. They call it like a beard.
Oh,
That's
I
your
didn't know
beard.
that.
Yeah. So
Okay.
the more you know.
Did you know that?
Learn something new every day.
Now you know.
Yeah.
Bill.
So he's been doing this for a long time,
Mhm.
and he's been with Mrs. Claus for a long time.
Yeah.
And you figure the honeymoon phase of a relationship for the average human person is between what? If we're being generous,
6 and 8 days.
I was going to go months.
Well, unless you honeymoon in the Dominican Republic right now.
Ooh, dark joke.
Yeah.
I think that's actually more of a light joke.
How do you figure?
Well, because generally, I think Charlie was talking about the American tourists over there,
That are dying.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
the white American tourists. Get
Oh,
it?
okay.
Light joke.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'm getting it. But I think there were a couple American people of color
Yeah,
that
actually,
died over there. as
the
well.
I
baseball
thought maybe
player.
it was just because it might be better to die than come back and be married.
And Jordy gets real quiet.
Oh, I don't care.
No.
I think
But-
the people that talk most shit about marriage is married people.
I mean, I would gather so. They have the most information. They have the best frame of reference.
Yeah, and we're also the funniest.
True. Never met a more hilarious person than my dad, Bill.
We need to have Bill on the show.
Oh, God. You want to talk about you heavy breathing into a microphone?
No.
It's my dad.
He's got that fat breathing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, sometimes when we're mic checking,
He sounds
for
like
folks at home.
the
sounds-
fucking monster from The Relic.
He literally sounds like he's snoring when he's awake.
He's snoring when he's awake. If you want to talk about mouth breathing, when we sound check for the show and I'm like testing things, I'm like, oh yeah, totally, Bill. I'm like, what the hell is that? Man, I need to get in the gym. Sounds like I just ate like a peanut butter, milkshake.
Peanut butter and ham milkshake.
And ham.
But it
with
wasn't a
bacon
milkshake. It
bits.
was just a straw in the peanut butter jar.
It was so good.
Remember that?
It was chunky.
Remember the gentleman with the very thick neck that was posted that got arrested? It was all over social media.
Yes,
Yeah.
and I remember the peanut butter jar.
Yeah, I remember the best comment on that whole thing was that boy could drink peanut butter.
That he did have a thick neck though.
Yeah, actually, he and that really, really skinny white kid did like a funny video later on.
Oh, so they sort
So
of.
two people that the internet took pictures of and made fun of
When I first saw it, I thought it was
got
Tequila
together
Spikes.
and made a video,
Well,
like a funny video.
good for them.
Good
being
humor.
able to find a little silver lining.
Yeah,
in
for
their,
sure.
in their thick
I
neck.
don't remember
Um,
what that guy was arrested for, so I don't want to say too many good things
Okay,
about him in case
so-
he's like a child molester.
Really quickly, all those people like that. Remember the meme with the girl that like the creepy face, and it was like, it
Mhm.
took you 12 minutes to get home. Google Maps says it takes 7. Who is she?
Mm-hmm.
Like all those people that ended up on the memes, something like they all benefit from it in the long run.
I would imagine
Some of them
so.
get, they get money from it, or they, something happens for them. Do you remember a couple of years ago,
Nope.
3 or 4, there was that picture going around. It was that guy's mugshot.
You're
And
gonna have to
everybody
be
was talking
way
about the
more
hot
specific.
prison, the hot
yeah.
mugshot guy.
Mhm.
The mixed gentleman
He
with
was-
blue eyes.
Yeah, he ended up like a billionaire heiress got in touch with him.
Okay. I was like,
And-
wait a
and
second.
they are together now. They're together now. That's his sugar mama.
Oh hell
All
yeah!
because that picture went viral.
Didn't he do some modeling
Yeah,
as
I'm
well?
pretty sure.
Yeah, I think so
Yeah.
afterwards. But I mean, I think it's like Versace's daughter or some sultan over in Dubai or something.
Those are
But,
two very different
I mean,
people.
he's-
Chuck.
Whatever it is. I mean,
It's
but
like
he's
Bill
hooked
Clinton
up with
or,
some like
Kim Kardashian.
billionaire fucking woman, all because somebody thought he had a hot mugshot and it went around the
I
world.
mean, to
in
his credit,
24
he
hours.
did have a super hot mugshot.
Yeah, for sure. I'd hit it if I was a gay
Yeah.
man.
I mean, yeah.
Plus, he had some cool scars and tattoos.
Yeah, I mean, overall, the whole package is just real good.
I just mean most of those people that happens to, like, they end up benefiting from it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to speak to that because I really don't know. But I imagine some of them, like the girl that had the Friday song.
Rebecca Black. I actually just watched a video about what happened to her after that whole thing.
What did happen to her? I knew she was wealthy already.
Well, she was fairly well off. I think both of her parents were like doctors or something. But she had to like drop out of school for a little bit because she was obviously getting just violently made fun of.
Of course.
What? I don't even know what this was.
Friday, gotta get down on Friday. Party.
Party.
No.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
well,
my
I have
favorite
no
part.
idea.
It was probably like 9 years ago.
It's probably the best song you'll ever hear.
But okay, so this dad paid like an exorbitant amount of money for his daughter to make some music video from this company that does like, music videos
Kid
for
music
rich
videos,
girls.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they wrote this song for her and it was terrible. And it was called Friday. And there's literally a line in the song. I mean, it's so like vapid and stupid that one of the lyrics was, "Gotta have my bowl, gotta have cereal." And that was,
They rhymed them too, by the way.
Yeah, gotta have my
9
bowl, gotta have cereal.
9 years later, and you still remember that.
Goddamn right I do. Seared in my brain.
She did something right.
She did.
Did
well,
she?
Well, here's the thing.
Or she did something really wrong.
So yeah, she had to like drop out of school and all this stuff. But then I guess she did like an interview with something happened. She ended up actually getting like a record deal and she's putting out an album relatively soon. And I guess it's all like her own music. And I'm hoping against hope that it's not going to be like Friday Part 2.
I hope
Why
she's
did
the best.
number one, why did she have to drop out of school?
Well, because she was
getting
getting
bullied.
made fun of for this terrible song that she did.
Partying.
Yeah.
See, I don't have sympathy for that. It's people have been getting bullied forever. Like, it's fucking deal with it.
Yeah, learn how to fight, you pussy.
Learn how to fight. Stand up for yourself.
Or just get a big friend, you know.
Or don't learn how to fight, but at least stand up for yourself.
Yeah. I mean, but you know, everybody reacts to those kind of things differently, Charlie. We can't all just be like, you know what, don't be a pussy.
No, they
you know?
react because we coddle them and then they end up fucking pulling
They
a
end
gun
up
on
fucking.
somebody.
I mean, we don't have to get that deep into it, but I think, you know, people react to outside stimuli in different ways. And she reacted by like, okay, if this continues, I'm probably going to jump off the roof of my very large house. You know?
I love that it's very large.
Yeah, I mean, well, you know, you got 2 doctor parents. What do you expect? It's going to be a big house. But yeah, so she's actually, again, one of those things where she, you know, found the silver lining. Now she's going to make an album and, you know, all is right in the world of Rebecca Black.
Yeah,
So
I
now
hope it
she's
works
partying.
out for it. William
she's
Hung,
partying.
Hung, he rode that fucking train till the wheels fell off.
Oh yeah.
Remember him?
Yeah. I think Psy is going to go the way of William Hung.
Psy, who's that?
Gangnam Style. Psy.
Oh,
Yeah. He actually put out a whole full-length album, and I'm not going to lie to
did
you.
it have more than 3 words on it?
No. I mean, well, it did collectively. If you put all the songs together, there was 3 words.
There was
a
12
total of
words.
3 words.
But yeah, no, I perused it because I was curious what other kind of musical ability does this guy have other than whoop, 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 whoop. And turns out
None.
not much more.
None.
But so I feel like he will go the way of
William Hung had a good album. I did listen to that.
Did you? Did you?
Oh, man.
You remember the end of
Whenever I finish an old Allman Brothers record or a little Crosby,
Do you
Stills and
remember
Nash,
the
I like to
end
pop
of
in a little William
A
Hung.
Christmas Story?
Uh-huh.
The guy's trying to sing Deck the Halls.
Mm-hmm.
William Hung's entire album.
Oh fuck yeah!
Deck the halls with bowers of holly.
well,
That sounds impossible.
Impossible.
but he had his little 15 minutes of fame, had a little album. Good for
A little album.
Yeah, it's
That's
little
so
album.
condescending.
I know. See, and I told you.
coming from a guy who's never put out
I
an
knew
album.
it
Like,
would
he had
pop
his
into
little
my
album.
head. I know what I want to talk about tonight. I
Okay.
have my own little story time.
All right, well, we'll get to you,
boy.
Charlie.
Yeah.
Anyway, William Hung.
Real quick, I have another question for you guys.
Okay.
Do
Is
you
this a
think-
shower question, too?
Yeah, that's a high in the shower question. Do you guys really think all dogs go to heaven? If so, is it the same as people heaven? If not, is there a separate heaven for dogs? And if so, is what kind of dog is Saint Peter? And like at the pearly gates, what kind of dog is Jesus? And like what breed of dog?
I don't think there's. I fully believe that after this life, there's something else.
But
And
for dogs also?
I would hope so, man. I would want to see my dog again.
I feel like what if you've lived a long life and you've had a lot of dogs?
Trust me, I would want to see every one of those dogs again.
All your dogs.
All of them.
Because like if all dogs go to heaven, including the one that bit you that one time, so you shot him in the face.
Yeah, my
I've never killed a dog.
my
No.
aunt had a dog.
Yeah, me neither.
It was a chow, and that fucking asshole bit me in my cheek. And I kind of hope if by some miracle I end up in another astral plane after this, that fucking dog is not there, because I fucking hate that dog, even still to this day.
Yeah, there's a couple of dogs I hate as well. I'm going to say this. Let's say the 3 of us go to heaven. I want to have like some leisure time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some me time. And if I have like 30 dogs that I've accumulated over my lifespan,
Oh my God.
how much time are you going to have for you?
No room on your heaven couch in your heaven
I
apartment.
got to say what up to dad and grandpa and mom. And,
Yeah.
you know, one day my son will be there. But also I have 30 fucking dogs to take care of.
and they never die. they're just there with you forever.
Dad?
And okay, and riddle me this, boys. If all dogs go to heaven and it's the same heaven that we all go to, do we have to walk them?
No, in heaven, of course, there would be like, I don't think you poop in heaven unless pooping is your thing.
Okay, that's another question. Do you like continue?
I can tell you I've taken some heavenly poops and definitely some heavenly pees. After like 8 beers and you haven't gone to the bathroom, that's a really good feeling pee, you know?
Mm-hmm. And so why, because it feels so good, why not include that in the heaven experience?
So I guess maybe 3 times a day you just have a heaven pee. But you don't have to get up. You can just do it wherever.
What if
it dissipates?
What if heaven pee is just rain? What if that's all the people in heaven just taking a pee?
So they usually aim at Florida then.
Yeah, they're all sort of around the prime meridian.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I don't know. What if?
I'm telling you, I came up with all these questions when I was very high taking a shower.
You came up with the permutations and the follow-up questions as well?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Wow.
Yep. Well, not so much the permutations, but the follow-up questions, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, your week was way more interesting than mine was.
Wow, that's more interesting than your week.
I'm in the shower just like, holy shit, I'm going to be late to work today.
Yeah. No, I just sit in the shower and I think about, Santa Claus fucking
Yeah.
and whether or not you have to walk a dog.
I was out
when
at
you
the
go to
bar
heaven.
the other night you were out, Charlie. No fun stories from that night?
Yeah,
Yeah.
not really.
Just our one favorite racist calling my brown friend.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, no. He said,
that was
I used to shoot people that look like you.
What?
upon meeting this
The
person.
instant he said hello.
I
used
feel
to
like I
shoot
know who we're
people
talking
that
about.
look
Of course
like
you do.
you overseas.
Jesus.
So that was fun. So then I spent literally the rest of the night
Oh my God.
listening to the aftermath of that.
Oh, God, I'm real glad I wasn't there for that.
Yeah.
It's just, fuck, man.
This is why we can't have nice things, man.
What the fuck?
So anyway, my brown friend
Then I spent
did very well.
at least an hour and a half hearing about it. And I'm like, fuck,
Dude,
I didn't
at
want to be
least 4
involved in
hours,
this
it felt like.
whatsoever. Now I'm dealing with the fallout from it.
Yeah. So there was fallout because my brown friend handled himself very well.
Good.
And which means I didn't have to get involved at all, which was great
Mm-hmm.
because he took care of everything himself. And the other person was very upset. The other person ended up being the upset one, which
Okay.
is great.
Yeah, I feel like that's how that needed to end.
But then Charlie and I had to hear about it for like the rest of the night.
It just,
Oh,
I mean,
what a mess.
I was having a decent night, and it just like shit like that. I'm not a fucking high school guidance counselor. I'm not a bartender because I don't want to listen to your bullshit. So having to hear that, I mean,
for like literally the rest of the night. The rest of conversation after that
Ugh.
was about that. I tried to get away so many times. And I did, I had a little.
well, no,
reprieve
I'm
here and
talking
there.
about I had to hear it from your friend.
both
for-
sides.
Well, that's mostly where I heard it from. And I was like,
I'm gonna call
I fucking
bullshit
don't
on
even
that.
want to put.
I don't think you spoke with him more than 5 minutes total.
I was sitting there for an hour.
Really?
For an hour. When I finally came over to you guys, and I'm like, I can't fucking do it anymore.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's
And that's so I ended up doing what I do. I hung out for a little bit, and then I went and tried to find a corner to sit in.
right.
And then I got the bar back. Just talking my ear off.
It's a fun place there over at Harper's.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm never going again.
I will
And I
never.
think I actually said, I looked up at one point and I was like, everybody's always like looking over at me and going, oh man, you need to smile. Oh, you look like you're really angry. No, I'm actually my happiest when I'm sitting here and I'm not having to talk. Like when I'm just sitting and watching, I don't have to get involved in,
I like that too. I like watching.
Me too.
that's
I'm a
why I
voyeur.
sit where I sit. I like to people watch.
At the ale house, we used to sit up on the wall outside and just stare at people.
I think
But
I used
that
to-
also could be bad because people driving by. Excuse me, God, I can't stop burping. People driving by used to love to hit them train horns when they'd go by.
Mhm.
That didn't bother me.
Oh man, it caught me off guard all the time.
I hate people.
I hate the people that do that, but it
Yeah.
didn't bother me. I wouldn't let it.
Good. Yeah, just out of sheer spite. Like, I'm not going to fucking jump. I'm going to hold on to this goddamn
And
wall.
also, I got your license plate, and if I ever see you again,
I'm ripping your fucking train horn out of your stupid truck and I'm going to
Sticking up
beat you to
your-
death with you.
your very large gaping asshole.
Oh. Oh God.
So what were you gonna say about? You said you feel like you saw us there or something.
I feel like I did that with you and some people at one point. Sat up on the wall, and
we should do that
people
Respectables as well.
Mhm.
We just find the wall. We go,
Oh, that was the top of the
highest-
couch at Respectables.
yeah, we find the highest point in the building that you can sit on. We sit on it and we look at everybody.
Hey, you guys want to go play gargoyles?
Nope.
Let's do it.
Oh, I
You get it.
I thought it was like participating in something.
No. You
Nope.
just sit on the wall.
Okay, I'm for
Very
that.
still.
I'm like a wallflower, only more beautiful.
One headlight. We could be heroes just for one day.
Yeah, you could drive it home,
Mhm.
which I did.
Didn't they sing Champagne's? No, that's
Oasis.
Oasis.
Wow, that's
I realized that immediately.
two very different bands. Okay, well,
But I mean, similar in the sense that they both could have and probably should have been bigger if they didn't.
I thought Oasis was like
The Wallflowers,
Gigantic.
that was Bob Dylan's son, right?
Yep, Jake Dillon, I believe.
Jake Dylan made that awful fucking song with P. Diddy for the Godzilla soundtrack.
Yep.
My allergies just fucking acted up out of nowhere.
Well,
Like, I'm just an itchy mess right now.
his cheek swells up all over again.
what are you allergic to? Pedicures?
Pedicures. I can't do it.
I'm allergic to the late 90s alt rock.
And he's alt rock. We could be heroes.
That's it.
That's what that song was.
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay, so you said you had a little story time that you wanted to.
Oh shit, I did, didn't I?
Oh
yeah.
shit! I interrupted you, and we went for another
Did you-
20 minutes.
Fuck.
Did you forget it? Because I also have one. And then maybe during my one, you can remember your one.
Oh no.
You remember it?
Racist Chinese lady.
Oh boy, it
Racist
sounds fun.
Chinese
Here we
lady.
go. Let's
Yeah, and it's okay.
jump
So
into this.
I feel like
A black Republican?
no, I'm gonna have to Chinese. I'm trying
We
to
call
say
them
this.
Orientals here on the show.
Oh no, we don't.
A lot of Chinese people are racist.
Okay.
They are, and people just kind of don't pay attention to that. I've noticed it like eating out in Chinese restaurants. So, long
Who do you
story
eat
short,
out in Chinese restaurants?
Are you 69?
the waitress.
Nice.
So I go to this place to pick up takeout one night, and I walk in, and the lady goes,
No. Just say it in a regular voice.
"You can't because the story is not as good.
It's impossible.
It's impossible.
No,
You can't say it in a regular voice. Otherwise, it's just not the same story."
All right, just for posterity is the only reason this is happening. Continue.
Yeah. So I walk in and I get greeted with the, "Hey, welcome. What's your order number?" And I say, I look at my phone. I'm like, "I'm order 27. Okay, not ready yet. Take a seat."
Okay.
So I left with a chair.
So,
So I stole the chair.
the next person walks in. "Hey, hello, what's your order number?" I ordered 75. Okay, be 1 second. Take a seat. So this happens like 4 times.
Mm-hmm.
And then this black guy walks in
Mm-hmm.
and, "Hey, hello, you have a chicken wing?"
No.
And the guy goes, looks at all of us. He goes, "Yeah, I did."
Yeah.
And everybody, you just see the whole room kind of like saunter down, like just weird.
Wait. Is she the racist or is the whole room racist?
I feel like everyone in the whole room is
I feel
racist.
it was just very fucking awkward, but I feel like
I think it's because everyone's brain went to, oh yeah, he's the chicken wing.
you just automatically assume that.
What if he's a regular? Like literally every week he's
Yeah.
ordering the same
Oh
thing.
shit, maybe that was it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And now everybody else in the room is a racist.
everybody else is the butthole except that one Chinese guy that just really, really, really cares about his customers and
There you
remembers
go.
them.
Maybe that was
a
it.
Chinese lady, right?
Maybe that was it. Yeah, it was a lady, but I didn't go deep into the accent.
I was going to say, you made it sound like
You should've
very-
gone
I
deeper.
downplayed everything a lot just because when you let off, I was like, "Oh fuck!" I really wish I wasn't telling the story right now.
Well, did
It
she
was-
say
it
the
was-
N-word? Because that would have made it racist.
No. But it
Okay.
was so much more extreme and like outlandish the
Mhm.
way it all played out. It's hard to describe. I mean, you would have had to. It's one of those things you had to be there.
Mhm.
I just got my food and got the fuck out of there.
Yeah, I would imagine I'd want to slink out that door pretty quick after that whole debacle.
I took a chair with
I mean,
me.
anytime I'm getting takeout, as soon as I get my food, I'm ready to get the fuck out of there.
Yeah.
I typically stand there and eat it out of the container.
Mhm. while making eye contact with the person that made
Yes,
it.
and I use their single-use plastic silverware
Mhm.
and throw it on the floor in front of them.
One bite
Yeah,
per fork.
one bite
Mm.
per fork.
Another fork, please.
I take extra straws and just drive straight to the intercoastal and throw them in there.
I usually
Right.
look for a turtle
As one does, as
to
is your want.
strategically place them
Say what?
first.
Say again?
I usually look for a turtle to strategically place the straws before I
Right.
lay my trap.
You're-
And I put cocaine on the other end of the straw.
I'm not trying to catch him. I'm just trying to
I'm just
fuck
trying
him
to-
up.
I'm trying to give them a better life.
Just trying to have. I want that turtle to have a real sick afternoon.
I want them to party hard. In the words of Jessica Black or Rebecca Black.
Rebecca.
Rebecca Back.
Rebecca.
Back.
Imagine if she had an awesome ass and her name was Rebecca Back.
I mean, that would have made her whole career. She never would have had to drop out of high school if that was her. If that was her thing. Rebecca back. I know.
Anyway, partying. Yeah.
I
Fun,
feel like
fun,
I
fun,
want to
fun.
look that video up on YouTube now.
Looking forward to the weekend. You're going to regret it is all I'm saying. Like watch it in its entirety. Like don't not finish it, but you will be upset when you do.
It's like
Is all
most
I'm
of the
saying.
porn I watch.
Oh,
I'll watch it in
what?
its entirety, but I'm going to be upset when I'm
Oh,
I'm done.
I thought you meant like mostly young teens.
Oh, well, you have to.
Well, yeah, that too.
Oh, God.
God.
You have to sit through the whole fucking like show. I mean, otherwise, how are you going to know
You do have to.
what
sit through the
job
whole
they're
fucking-
applying for that they had to fuck to get it,
Or whether or not they actually closed the deal on their house.
or
Like,
whether or not they actually got the fucking cable hooked up.
Did she eat that pizza?
no, she didn't eat that pizza. She just picked the toppings off.
Just the sausage.
Just the sausage.
Was he able to get that wheelchair fit?
Did they ever fix the sink?
Nope. Were they ever able to pull her out of that window?
Why was she stuck in the dryer? And did she ever become unstuck in the dryer?
Nope. He fucked her and then he left her there. He's like, well, I hope I'll get you a can of canola oil and best of luck to you.
A can of canola oil.
Your
I've never
husband,
seen
your
one of
husband will be
those.
home in half an hour. He'll help get you out of there.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
I feel like we covered a lot of very important, very life-changing ground.
Holy
tonight.
shit, we've been at it for 45 minutes.
Yeah, we
Oh,
still
shit.
won't shut up.
Oh, shit. It's already 9/11.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
get on
no,
your.
never forget.
R.I.P.
Let's have
get
a
on
moment of
your,
silence.
Never forgetty. Okay. So,
It was a very
you know,
quick
you know what
moment.
I was thinking about? I feel like a lot of the stories that I tell you guys have
Been made up.
they involve me doing a lot of drugs, which makes me feel like I've done too many drugs. So that's my preface for this next story about me doing too many drugs. So I go to Amsterdam with my father, right?
I
Just
just tried to quiet Bert, by the way, and I watched that fucking microphone filter just shoot through the fucking room. So my apologies if y'all heard that.
So I was on the precipice of manhood. I was just about to turn 18, and it was the end of the summer.
He bought you your first hooker.
And no, but we went to go visit my aunt in Italy, which was very nice. She lived in a very, very pretty walled in city called Lucca. And we stayed with her for about 10 days. And then from there, the next leg of the journey.
Her city's got walls around it.
Yeah.
Don't they know that
And
walls don't
you're
work?
happy with that?
The walls are very pretty and they were not meant to keep anybody out. The next, they were purely decorative.
Just wanted to find out.
Is Luca a concentration camp?
Yeah, no.
Okay, continue.
So we spent like 10 days with her, and we didn't stay in the city. We went around like the Tuscan countryside. It was very pretty. But then the next leg of the journey was we were going to go to Amsterdam, and I told my dad, I want this part of the journey. I want to only be able to recall it via looking at pictures, which meant, Dad, I'm going to get real fucked up in the next few days that we're here.
Yeah, I get that. You don't have to. You don't have to explain that.
Well, just so we're all clear. So, first of all, before we even make it into Amsterdam, my dad, very large guy, right? So we're going on an escalator. We're in the airport, and my dad has one of those rolly suitcases. and we're going up. And
Your dad has one of those really suitcases.
rolling
Rolling.
suitcases.
Oh. Wait, how
Ever
is
since
it,
the nose
is it
piercing, it's
more
been harder to
suitcase than a
understand.
fucking regular suitcase?
It's it's got the wheels on it. You know what I'm talking
Gotcha.
about.
Okay.
So
Was it more human than human?
yes,
Oh, okay. Continue.
I am the Astro Creep. So, he's pulling the suitcase behind him, and one of the straps from the suitcase gets like lodged in the escalator. And my dad, being the person that he is, was not about to let his suitcase go in an airport full of strangers in Europe. So he's holding on to it, getting slowly but surely dragged back downwards. Now I'm behind him, and I'm probably a third of my dad's size. And for some reason, I thought this, just propping him up with my small arms, was going to protect me and everyone behind me from the impending avalanche of my dad falling down the escalator. Apparently, everybody behind me also got the same idea, because then I felt a pair of hands on my back.
It was a team effort.
Yeah. And I'm just yelling at my dad, Dad, let go of the fucking suitcase. No. And eventually he lets go, and the fucking escalator like comes to this weird grinding halt, and they have to like yank the strap out. Eventually, but it's neither here nor there. It's just a funny detail of the story. So we make it into Amsterdam.
I thought the whole story was going to be wrapped around something that happened on that escalator.
No, that was just a part of it.
And then I did a shit ton
Then
of
the
drugs.
escalator fell apart. It was one of those Final Destination moments where like 7 European
It
tourists
just
died.
shattered into pieces, and there was just drugs all in it, and I did all of them. No, so we make it into Amsterdam, and luckily we had the only hotel in the entire city with central air conditioning. It was just a newly renovated building.
Everyone else had offset air conditioning.
It was just like window units and shit. It's like not fun.
It wasn't centralized though.
No.
They were scattered all about.
Yeah, it was everywhere. It wasn't in the middle.
Yeah, they were all You guys,
Continue.
you guys know what I'm talking about. Quit fucking with me. So, the first thing, obviously, that an American wants to do when they go to Amsterdam is they want to smoke a bunch of weed, right? So,
Sure.
so
No, I'd rather look at the architecture of this beautiful city.
I was
in the
thinking drink
Netherlands.
absinthe.
Yeah, that too.
okay,
Because
well,
since
Fuck
I was like
prostitutes.
Yeah.
Where you
that's
have
what you do.
there's no guilt. You know what I mean? It's like window shopping over there. Like I've walked through the
That's
mall
exactly
and
what
been
I'm
like,
saying.
man, I like that shirt. I'm going to go in there and get that shirt.
I'm going to go in there and fuck it.
Except there, you're like,
You're gonna have sex with
man,
that shirt.
I have never dabbled with potentially getting Hep C. So
I
that's
have.
the one.
Luckily, I made it
I
through.
hope I don't get Hep C from trying on that shirt.
Man, I really hope the friction from me wrapping my dick up with 7 condoms doesn't backfire on
Yeah,
me.
one condom is actually more effective.
No,
7.
I'm sure it's Amsterdam though. It's
It's not rife with hep. They don't have a hep outbreak.
Yeah, I've never seen on the news.
I've seen
Have you though?
Deuce Bigelow. You're a gigolo. Okay.
Well, you
I
rest your
know
case.
Wait.
the real Amsterdam.
Is that a sequel to the original?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
There was Deuce Bigelow male gigolo and Deuce
Oh,
Bigelow
no.
European
Yeah.
gigolo.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
it's
trust me,
exactly
if
what you
there
think it
was,
is.
it's
Awful?
Mhm.
Okay.
fucking tragic.
Yeah.
But it gave me a look at the real Amsterdam. You know,
Yeah, you got that's really
I feel like
it's really a documentary
You got to
about
see
it's a
the-
documentary. I feel like I grew up there.
the nittiest and grittiest.
Why, if you wanted to go, why didn't you just come and ask me? I could have told you all about it.
Why would you spend
It's just Rob Schneider trying to solve a bunch of male prostitute murders.
Oh,
Mhm.
and the sequel is Vaccines Don't Work.
Mhm. Yeah, that's the
Starring
plot.
Rob Schneider.
That's the plot of the third Deuce Bigelow movie. It's just him. It's like Dallas Buyers Club, but with Rob Schneider trying to find a cure for his many different kinds of hepatitis.
Gotcha.
But so back to the story. So my dad and I proceed to get very high. Now my dad hasn't been high in a long time at this point, like many years.
Since Woodstock.
My dad's not that old. Yeah, I think he was only like 10 when Woodstock happened. Yeah.
I thought your dad was an older fella.
I mean, he is, but, early 60s at this point. He was born in like the mid-late 50s. So
Oh, okay.
that would have only, made him not quite old enough to be concert ready. But at any point, so my dad gets very, very high. And the lobby of this hotel is, I mean, first of all, it's beautiful. The architecture is just fantastic. It's very chic, very modernized. So there's a bar on one side, and then sort of the reception area where you like check into your room and everything on the other. And it is separated by this black partition that is the very same shade of black that the rest of the floor is. So my dad and I go around to the bar, and my dad's got terrible cotton mouth. And to be fair, so do I. So we both order waters and we drink them very fast and very American-ish, just running down our cheeks and shit. No tact, no couth. And then I walk around towards like the elevators, and I'll never forget it. My dad finishes his glass of water, puts it down on the bar and goes, "Well, thanks for that drink. I was very parched." And then he turns around and he goes to walk just through the partition that's only sits like probably 2 feet off the ground. He doesn't see it because it's the same shade.
It's only 2 feet off the ground?
Yeah, it's just
That's
like
a hazard.
It's a place where you would like sit.
It's
you know
a
what
hazard.
I mean? Fair. So my dad goes to walk and trips over it. And I don't know if you've ever seen like a very, very, very tall, large person fall.
How tall is your dad?
Like 6'6".
Okay.
And roughly between 350 and 375 pounds. He's a very large man.
Get the fuck out of here.
He's a very large man.
You don't have to leave.
So
That's like a fucking tree coming down.
yeah. So I don't know if you've ever seen a person that big fall.
No, but I want to. Can you bring your dad next week and have him fall
On
coming in
next
here?
week's show, we're going to be tripping Bill's dad.
Tripping my
Fuck
dad.
the pedicure challenge.
Tripping
The
my
challenge
sweet,
should be,
sweet father.
I'm just going to come to your house
And
and
try
I'm
and
going to
trip my
like try
dad.
to trip your dad. He's going to be walking out in the morning to get the fucking mail, and I'm going to be like outside hiding in the bushes and like just ninja him right over.
It's going to be a live podcast.
It's really intense to see somebody that big fall because it feels like it happens in
Bucket
slow
list.
motion. It was like watching a building come down. Like it was watching like a controlled demolition of a building. And like I was so high that I'm watching my dad fall, and I'm seeing like all the people that like work in the reception area. They're all like coming to like converge on my father and make sure he's okay. I did nothing. I stood there and I watched as everyone like tried to help him back up. I was too high to react, you know? So I'm just and like my dad's like trying to get back up to his feet. Watching a large guy fall is crazy. Watching him try to get back up after
pull
like
everyone else down.
is so much
Well,
worse.
yeah, because if he's having trouble, then he's just 300 something pounds of dead weight.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, watching him try to get back up is so much worse. At any rate, he was like, I'm high. I just fell. I got a belly full of food. I'm going to go sleep it off in the hotel room. And I said, that's fine. I'm going to go explore. And he was like, okay, just, make sure you remember where you are so you don't get lost. And I was like, okay, never been here before. So this is going to be kind of a task, but we'll see what happens.
This is pre-iPhone.
Right. So
It's easy, man.
Yeah.
Street names.
Yeah.
Just,
with fucking consonants that you don't pronounce in the word.
What's the safe word? Gerflugen.
There's actually the street I was looking for is spelled Nieuwedijk, but it's pronounced Nieuwedijk. So imagine
that one's easy to remember.
Nieuwedijk.
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 New of the dike.
Nieuwedijk, which means New High Street.
Because a dike is a high embankment.
No,
Well-
because everybody's high on the street.
Yeah, it's literally the highest concentration of what they call coffee shops in the entire city.
What's a coffee shop?
It's a place where you go and smoke weed. It's
I
like
thought it was a place you go to buy coffee.
Well, the way they have it set up is like they give you a menu, and on one side of the menu, they have all the coffee options and the little pastries and everything. And then if you turn it over, that's where all the weed options are.
Do you guys think that if I was a rapper, my name would be Lil Pastries?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. For sure.
100%.
And your mixtape would be like, Welcome to the Bakery.
First album would be Glazed Buns.
I feel like that would be the main single. I don't know if that would be the album.
Well, yeah, single, self-titled
But if it was
album.
self-titled, it would just
The
be
single would be titled
Little
the album.
Pastries.
Shut up! Little Pastries.
Little pastries. So, I stop at, because my father is
Dead
Is
now.
still trying to get up off the floor.
he's been
For all you
dragged.
know, he spent the entire night on the floor.
He's been
He
dragged
never
up
made it to
this
the
one.
hotel room. He just crashed in the lobby.
He literally did.
They're like, are you fine, sir? We leave you here? Yeah. Okay. So I'm sort of exploring the city, and I find.
Meanwhile, I get shit over my my Chinese guy earlier.
You can make fun of Dutch people. They're mostly white.
You're talking about some impish little fucking Dutch.
Wow, you're the one who called him impish.
Are you okay, sir?
Are you okay, sir? You've never, I don't know, if Dutch people are, you can make fun of Dutch people. They started the slave trade.
That is true. That is true. Yep. Okay.
So,
fuck. You're right.
So I found this place that it's called a smart shop. And what they do in these places is that they sell mushrooms. So
that's pretty smart.
Yeah. I thought it was a pretty accurate name for it. So I walk in there, and there's the guy behind the counter literally looked like he played in like a late 90s nu metal band. Like he had fucking like just a vine of weed leaves tattooed up his arm. I was like, so this guy's an expert on whatever it is that they sell
just
here.
The flavor saver.
Was he wearing a Cobalt Slow Forever shirt?
No, he was wearing a fucking, very funny. He was wearing
this is fucking me up, by the way.
He was wearing, I believe he was wearing a Boston Celtics jersey.
Nice.
For some reason.
Oh, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
You know, big Boston Celtics fans.
Fucking
over
Red Sox.
Over in Amsterdam. So I was like, I said to him, I'm from America, and I would like your strongest strain of mushrooms, please.
That is the absolute last thing I would have said over there.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't realize how pretentious that sounded until
I would have said, I'm from Australia. And
G'day, mate. I'm from Australia.
G'day, mate.
I'd like your fucking.
Oh, you cunt.
I'd like your fucking strongest.
Oh, you cunt.
Oh, you loose cunt. I'd like your fucking strongest strain of magic mushrooms.
I want to get so high that I'm playing a fucking didgeridoo naked on the streets.
I want to get high off my
An
tits.
army of didgeridoos.
An army of fucking didgeridoos. So,
that's not a mushroom.
This is a mushroom. So he goes, are you sure about that? And I said, yes.
Listen here, I'm from America.
Listen here, I'm from America. We pick our mushrooms out of cow poop. So he goes, okay. And he hands me like a Tupperware tin. And it's probably only.
Was it tin or was it Tupperware?
It was a
Don't fucking throw me curveballs,
Tupperware
man.
container. It was
Was it brand name
Okay.
Tupperware? Because that shit's hard to find these days.
You know what? Let's just say it was plasticware. It was a plasticware container. Okay. Everybody happy with that?
Glad or what? What are we talking here?
Oh, fuck me. I don't know. So inside of it, he said, inside of this container are Afghan mushrooms, and they are the strongest strain that I am aware of. And I was like, awesome. And he goes, just be wary though. Do not eat all of them in one sitting. You will freak the fuck out.
I feel like at this point you should have told everything he said in his voice.
Oh, really? Should I probably not eat them all in the same? Fuck you, pussy. No. But I was like, yeah, okay, totally. And then I purchased the mushrooms, and I walked outside and went into the alley, and I ate the whole container. Not the container itself, but all the contents.
The mushrooms were spread across the ground.
I ate. I
threw the
dumped
mushrooms away,
I
ate the
just
fucking
ate that
10.
No, but I proceeded to eat the entirety of the contents of the container. And about 3.5 hours later, now mind you, folks, this was during the World Cup. Okay. And so Holland was playing Manchester, I think. It was one of the English teams. Whatever. Was it Chelsea?
That's your.
So the World Cup is
soccer
entire
guy.
countries.
Right.
So Manchester is a city in England.
Okay. So I guess it was the English team, whoever.
England? Ah, yes.
Okay. So I don't fucking watch. This is America. We watch.
What do they call the English country team?
One of those teams from across the pond.
Oh, yeah, right.
Well, okay, so so that whole thing was happening. Now, there's the main square in Amsterdam is called Dam Square. They put a lot of thought
Maybe
into
it's
that
the
one.
damn square.
Mm-hmm. So on one side of Dam Square is the Grasshopper, which is the Dutch coffee shop. It's like the biggest one in the whole city. It is the Dutch coffee shop.
Gotcha.
And then on the other side is the Bulldog, which is the English coffee shop. Because there's a lot of English people in Amsterdam, I guess. So, and they're on opposite ends of the square. And it's probably at this point, like around 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. I am tripping my goddamn dick off, just sitting on a park bench, and everything around me is just swirling and fucking, I can like taste colors and see sounds. It was nuts. And I guess I was sitting in the middle of the square as the game ends. And I guess Holland had beaten England. And everybody from both clubs rushes out into the square. And it literally, I felt like I was in a scene in like fucking Braveheart or something. It was terrifying because I'm not like on the sidelines. I'm in the middle of the square, sitting on a bench. And here comes a bunch of very fucked up English people and very fucked up Dutch people. And they convene in the center of the square and just start beating the shit out of each other.
You know the beautiful thing about that, though?
What?
You don't know anybody. So you don't have to worry
I have no dog
that
in the
you're
fight.
going to hit the wrong person. So
True.
you just start fucking hitting everybody.
You
I
know,
feel
this-
like as a
the-
survival tactic while high on mushrooms,
I'm just
probably
saying.
not the best.
The
No,
worst
no,
case,
no.
the worst thing that happens if you've ever been in a melee like that with multiple people,
Mhm.
you're like, holy fuck. Like I turned around and hit Tommy one night
Twice.
twice in two separate like brawls. And I felt terrible
the
about
second
it.
one was intentional.
But you're just
Yeah.
hitting, you're just swinging on people.
Yeah.
You can get up and just start fuck them
I
if
feel
they're
like you're-
English, fuck them if they're Dutch.
Well, let
I
me-
fuck 'em
feel
more
like
if
you're
they're
missing
Dutch.
a key element here, and that's you're in a foreign country and you're
Mhm.
not a citizen.
Nope. So my tactic
You're in the Netherlands.
was decidedly different. I hid under the bench.
Good call.
And it lasted for what felt like 3 hours.
Several days.
Yeah, but it was probably only like
It's a 7-year war.
it was probably only like 9 or 10 minutes of actual like physical.
Bill nearly died of malnutrition before the fight was over.
Oh my god, it was honestly the scariest thing I've ever experienced because like I my brain couldn't process what was happening. Like to me, I was just tripping balls, and now there's a war happening, and I thought maybe somebody had like invaded Holland. There was like there's in the middle of a
Unarmed Englishmen.
yeah, just a bunch of like drunk off duty.
We're here for your red light district.
I actually did. I went down the red light
Did
district.
you meet Roxanne?
She didn't put on the red light.
What a bitch.
Man. It's
But-
misleading.
Well, I mean, because
I
she
felt
was
like I
told
learned-
in that song that she didn't have to.
Well-
Sting was like, "You don't have to put on the red light," and she was like, "Fine, I'm not going to do it
I'm
anymore.
not
This is
gonna
too
fucking
much."
do it. I learned everything I needed to know about the Netherlands and Amsterdam from Hostel. Because that was a crazy documentary.
I learned everything I needed to know about it from the Sting
Yeah.
song Roxanne.
hmm
Was that the Police or the Sting?
Well, Sting was a part of the Police.
Yeah, I'm aware, which is why I'm asking the question.
I think it was probably while he was still with the Police.
I wanted to join the space program after I saw Armageddon.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Because that it looks so easy.
I wanted to fight Apollo Creed when I saw Rocky.
I waited for an alien invasion after seeing Independence Day.
Yo,
Yeah.
I carried a gun since the day I saw Swiper trying to swipe Dora's shit.
That's it.
Not in my house.
That was such a transformative experience
Yeah.
for me.
Since that day.
Watching that son of a bitch.
Actually, that's the only
Oh,
been recently.
I'm sorry. Did anybody watch Rubber this week?
No.
I did not watch Rubber because I'd already seen Rubber. So it was not
Man.
a part of my like.
To be fair, though,
To be fair.
I also didn't wear a rubber this week.
I mean, same
Amen, sister.
party. What about you,
Partying.
Chuck? Did you wear a rubber this week?
Also, I recommend switching to latex.
Yeah.
Much easier to get in and out of. And doesn't smell like tire in her pussy when you're done.
Oh, who's paying the bills tonight?
Did you finish your story?
Yeah. So the end of the story is I survived the battle, and then I went back up to my hotel room, and that I didn't really do any drugs after that.
I thought for sure you're going to say you died and that you're not really here.
Yeah, this is just an astral projection of me, and I've been dead since 2006.
See, it's funny. You tell these
That is
stories.
funny.
You tell these stories about like mushrooms and everything else and how they affect you. Like, I have similar stories just from smoking weed.
Really?
That's why I don't smoke weed. The couple of times that I have done it,
A Dutch and English war broke out.
no. It just it's something that like I can't handle. Now, I've been so drunk off a beer that one night, Bun has a video of me for about 7 minutes straight trying to light a girl's cigarette with my car key. But when it comes to weed,
did she continue to allow you to attempt?
oh yeah, apparently it was like a joke. Once they realized what I was doing, they just kept letting it happen. But I was using like my key fob
in the parking lot. You can hear honks.
Yeah, it was like 10 years ago at some place in St. Lucie, Shindigs.
Yeah. I slipped in a puddle of puke at Shindigs once.
Oh, gross.
Mhm.
I had somebody puke on my back in Draft House in Boca Raton one night.
Hell yeah.
My roommate, I felt something. And I thought
Was
somebody
it sort of like that rules of
I thought
attraction
somebody
thing?
threw a beer. And I was like, oh, what the fuck, man? I just got soaked with beer. And Chase goes, that's not beer, bro. That's not beer. And I immediately had to take my shirt off and go home. It was gross.
Yeah.
I want to go there.
I would have
Did
left
you
my
throw
shirt
that?
on.
Yeah. Did you just throw that shirt away? I'll throw the whole shirt away.
No, I washed it.
Bill
I washed
would
it.
have hosed it off and went to bed.
No, but I one night with Daniel and our friend Keith, they were partaking in a jib, and I took a little hit of
That's
it.
the whitest shit I've ever heard.
Excuse me, sir. May I
May I
partake?
hit your jib?
No,
so
that's
all right,
not. That's too
so-
open.
May you permit me to
We're
take
sitting-
part in the imbibition of your jib?
We're sitting in the car, and they rolled one up, and I was like, I'll do that. So I
I'll
did.
do that.
And
You
it's
ever do
probably
marijuana.
it's probably about 40 degrees out. Now, it's just because I never smoked. I just never got into it.
Uh-huh.
So I can't handle it. It hits me differently than it does everybody else.
Mhm.
So I took a really big hit off of it, and 40 degrees out, I start going, man, my ears are getting really hot, guys. Anybody else getting hot in this car? So I get out of the car and I take my shirt off.
Okay.
I'm
Smart.
still burning up.
Okay.
Take my pants off. And I'm laying down in the grass. Like, I gotta fucking go home. That's from smoking weed.
Maybe you're allergic to weed.
Maybe I'm allergic to weed.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I sure as shit can't handle it.
Or maybe that was the beginning of you going through the change. And
Menopause.
now you're just
Oh yeah, you're a beautiful butterfly.
your eggs have dried up and
You can't have babies
no
anymore.
more babies.
Oh man, we're fighting in the parking lot for this.
All right, so Charlie, you never did answer Jesus or Santa. Go.
I'm not going there.
All right.
I told you
Bill,
guys I
pay
don't
the
want to talk about
bills.
that.
All right. Tonight's show has been brought to you by Santa's Big Sick Hog.
All right, and good night.